University of St. LaSalle College of Arts and Sciences Mathematics Department, and this is our video solution for our problem number 6 posted on our Facebook page with difficulty of 1 star. Okay, so here it is. Find all the real roots of the equation 4x cubed minus 256 equals 0. So this is an example of a cubic equation. You can see it here in the degree, or the highest exponent of our equation. That's a third degree, so therefore that's a cubic equation. So there's one who got this in full detail, that is Miko Zamora. I will feature his work here at the end of the video, so thanks Miko, and to all who participated in this problem. So here it goes. Here's our problem over here. So what I want to do first is to clear up some things so that we could start with our solution. So we want to do first is to simplify the first term. So you can see our first term is, or has a coefficient of 4. So we could divide the terms, all the terms here, this one, this one, this one, by 4, so that we could simplify. If we'll do that, 4x cubed minus divided by 4 is going to be x cubed. 256 divided by 4 is going to be 64. 0 divided by 4 is still 0. So that's our second line. Next is, we can see it here that we have a difference of two cubes. X cubed is a cube of x. 64 is a cube of 4. Okay, 4 cubed. 4, 16, 64. That's it. So from that, we could use the formula of difference of two cubes, namely this. So x cubed minus y cubed is equal to x minus y times the quantity of a quadratic, x squared plus xy plus y squared. So if we'll follow this formula here in this cubic equation, what we'll have is this. Okay, so we have x, the cube root of x cubed, 4, the cube root of 64, and then so on. You know how to follow this. Okay, so what we need to do is to have two cases for our solution. So what we'll have is, first, our case 1, we're going to focus our attention in this x minus 4, our binomial. So we're going to divide the whole equation by this quadratic. So if we'll do that, we will be left with x minus 4 equals 0. Okay, so what we'll do here is transpose then, and what we have is x equals 4. Okay, so in our case 1. So the question is, does this solution is good for our problem? That is it a real root? Because our problem asks us for real roots. And, well, yes, 4 is a real number. So therefore, this is okay for our problem. So this is one of the real roots of this cubic equation. Okay, now let's see case 2. We will put our focus in this quadratic here. So what we will do is do the opposite. We will divide the whole equation by this binomial x minus 4. So if we'll do that, that will be cancelled up. We will be left with this quadratic. Okay, so, well, quadratic equations, we could have a lot of ways to answer those or to find the solution of those quadratic equations. But first, we want to be sure that this equation specifically will yield us real roots, because our problem wants only real roots. So we were going to erase the possibilities of complex numbers or imaginary numbers here. So that is, in particular, we're going to use the discriminant. Okay, so b squared minus 4ac. Okay, notice our a here, a, b, c are the coefficients. So a, the coefficient is 1, b, the second coefficient, or the coefficient of the middle term, is 4, and c is our constant term. So b squared minus 4ac. The discriminant will tell us the nature of our roots. So substituting, what we have is, well, b squared minus 4ac, b is 4, I'll write it down, plug it in, 4ac. Okay, you just need to plug that out. So what we'll have is, if we're going to continue, 4 squared is 16, minus 4 times 1 times 16 is going to give us 64. So 16 minus 64 is going to give us negative 48. So what we have is a negative number. So what does that mean? Remember, discriminant is just a part of a bigger formula, which is the quadratic formula that gets us the roots of any quadratics. So in this discriminant, remember, this discriminant is under a square root. If you remember, so we have x equals negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So this is under a square root. So what does that mean? So if we have a negative number under a square root, that will result to an imaginary number. Again, square root of minus 1 is equal to I. That's our imaginary number, which means that this is not a real root. Therefore, this quadratic will not give us any real roots. Okay, the solutions here will not be any real roots. Hence, the real root, the only real root of this cubic equation will only be 4. Okay, so therefore, that's our problem. That's our solution, rather, to our problem for number 6. So the only real root for this cubic equation for x cubed minus 256 equals 0 is only equal to 4. Okay, so here's Miko's solution. Thank you so much, Miko, for letting me feature this. He put it on a paper, so I'm just going to read it. This is pretty much the same with ours. Okay, so find all the real roots. This is our problem. So simplify the same thing that we did. We divided the whole equation by 4. What we'll have is this. So we have case 1, we have case 2. Miko likewise used a discriminant. So therefore, this will not yield any real roots. So the conclusion, that's a nice one. The only real root of 4x cubed minus 256 equals 0 is equal to 4. So that's it. We have x equals 4. So thank you so much. For more math problems, kindly follow and like our Facebook page. It's written here. I'll put it in the descriptions also. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.